The narcissist and the garage deal. So, this is a garage door. And before I get into this video, I am going to share a little tip with you in case your power's out in your garage and you're trying to get that up and running. You see this lock right here? Right here. Let's zone in on that lock. You can put that right where one of the rollers is. This is like right at the middle roller. And if you try to pull your garage up, it will only go up about an inch. Okay, so that will stop someone from coming in and also secure it. Now, this lock is not pushed in all the way because I can't. And I'm really not trying to secure it to that degree because I want people to be able to get out of here if they needed to. Because this garage is a hangout lately. So anyway, I just want to share that. I got that tip from YouTube. So anyway, let's go into this, the narcissist and the garage deal. So because I do get comments now, I want to begin with a disclaimer. If you are currently renting or residing in your family or friend's garage, you don't necessarily have to be a narcissist. You can be someone that's very empathic. That's why they didn't leave you out in your car or on the sidewalk or in the grass. Because you're such a good person. They said, hey, the garage is yours. Fix it up like your home. I trust you. You know how to do maintenance. You're clean. You work. If you don't work, you're going to be getting a job. So that's my disclaimer. Because the reason I'm starting out with that disclaimer is because of the simple fact I do get comments now. And I don't get comments on every video. YouTube also screens the comments. So some comments I will never even see because they're so derogatory and hateful. So I'm very thankful to YouTube for the protection that they offer to all YouTubers. And so basically what's saying that is I'm speaking of how situations can work when it's the narcissist and the garage deal, how some of these deals can come about, and my history of seeing in the past, many, many years ago, a potential narcissist or narcissistic gentleman at the time and how that worked. Okay, so I'm going to go back in history. Many, many years ago, and I'm going to be flashing my garage. See, right here, you'll see the garage. I do have a piece of furniture in here that I need to take in the house, y'all. It's brand new, but I need to take this in the house. So it was delivered, and I had the delivery guy put it right here. So anyway, so the narcissist and the garage deal. So like I said, here I give real examples. We already know narcissists lack empathy. They're hateful. They're angry. They're con artists. Some of them are charming. They're manipulative. They don't have your best interests at heart. Some of them will have other mental health illnesses like depression, anxiety, things like that. And when I name these illnesses, okay, I have mild anxiety, okay? That doesn't mean just because someone's depressed or having anxiety that they're a narcissist. So that's my disclaimer there. But what I do for my anxiety and what calms my anxiety just may not work for a narcissist because there's so many underlying issues within their soul. Like I was having a little anxiety today. So what I did, I went and sat in the hot tub for 10 minutes. 85% of my anxiety went away right then, just from sitting in the hot tub. I had that water up to my neck, and that's how it went. I'm not holding any extra inner hatred in my soul where that water treatment or that jacuzzi or hot water treatment wouldn't work. So that's my disclaimer there. So I'm going to go back to many, many years ago. There was a gentleman that I met at an event. and he was security at this event I went to. And like I said, this was a long, long time ago. Gosh, I want to say 15 years ago or something like that. So I met him at an event. Very nice man, very kind on the surface, right? And he lived in a very nice neighborhood. It was a true middle class neighborhood on the West Coast, right? And I was single at the time, and so was he. Let me see, was it 20? Yeah, it's about 15, 20 years ago. I don't know. Um, we had both just gotten out of a breakup. And on the surface, it seemed to not be anything wrong with him, right? So he invited me to his what I would call a truly middle class neighborhood. Okay. This neighborhood at the time, it was two-parent homes, very family oriented, big homes, a lot of landscape, and it was just a great place, right? So I went there. It was a little drive out, but I went there because he invited me out. He made me aware in advance that he did live in the garage, just like this. This is a garage right here. So he lived in the garage. Now, he explained to me before I got there that this was not just no bum, low class thing he was doing. This garage was fixed up like an apartment. He said, when you get in there, it will feel like an apartment. I have an area that's my bedroom, my living room. I do use the restroom inside the home because he said he was allowed inside the home. So I'm like, okay, well, I judge people by their character. Okay, so I went. I agreed to go visit. It was summer. I can remember back then, 15, 20 years ago, I've never been the type to be no booty short wearer. Like, I'm not going to wear no shorts that got the end of my butt hanging out of it. However, I remember having on some shorts. They were kind of loose. And then I had on like a girly tank top. No breast showing, none of that. So it was a hot summer day. And I had on my sandals. You know, I looked like I was on a vacation or something. No extreme. I know some religions are pretty modest. So some religious people probably wouldn't even wear those shorts. But it was dainty. No. You can't drive by me down the street and say, oh my God, who's that? Who's that loose prostitute? Or, it didn't look like that. It was a presentable short outfit. I think it had like flowers on it, and I can remember it was cute. Put it that way. It wasn't no hoochie mama stuff. I didn't have on no big old high heels with these shorts with my booty tip hanging out and all of that. So wasn't none of that. Like I said, no breast cleavage showed either. So, and he had said some pretty kind things to me, like I don't just let anybody in my apartment / garage home. So I went there, and when I got in, it was just as he stated. It was nice. You forgot you were even in a garage. He was showing me some of his photos from the past, family photos. I met his family members. So it wasn't like he was isolating me in this garage. And he definitely wasn't the rapist type. You know what I mean? However, within about, I would say 2 hours in, and I mean, we were clicking, we were getting along really well. The 2 hours that I was there went by very fast. Oh, and let me point this out. It was daytime when I went. So I did not go to this man's house late at night. And the reason I say that is sometimes when people go to people's homes, especially for the first time after dark, whether it be a male or a female you're going to visit, they think it's a booty call. Okay, so I'm showing the person when I go to their place during the day that I'm not there for anything else other than getting to know you. And I also want to point this out. Me and this gentleman, or this gentleman and I, we knew some of the same people. So I knew the people he knew some of the people that I knew. So I'm not going to this stranger danger situation and something could happen. I was known in the community and so was he. Okay, so about it could have been 3 hours. I might have been there 3 hours. Who knows? I know it was at least two because while we were looking at photos and things, his TV was playing and there was a movie playing. So 2 to 3 hours in, we'll say three. Let's say three because looking back on it, it probably was more than 2 hours because he had this big, nice TV that was on like a stand. I don't think it was mounted in the garage at that time, but like I said, it was nice, very nice. So as things calm down, and of course, you're getting to know each other, we're looking at photos, talking about our work and our jobs and things like that. So we finally, a quiet moment settles in, right? And we're sitting on his couch because he had part of that garage home set up as a living room, okay, or like a family area. So as we're sitting on his nice couch, no raggedy furniture, none of that. So he looks at me and says, "So when are we going to get to it?" And I'm like, "Okay, get to what?" He said, "Well, just so you know, any woman that I invite in this living quarters that I'm in, which this is my apartment, before they leave this garage, they have sex with me." Okay. So, or they sleep with him, however way you want to word it. I don't want this video taken down because I'm saying too much graphic stuff. Okay. So, yeah. So basically, he wanted to do the nasty. And he's also explaining to me how it goes for every other woman that's been in that garage. Because at this point, I'm not going to call it his house. I'm going to call it the garage. And he was serious. And you know what? I don't believe that he was telling a lie. Like he said, he didn't bring many women there in the garage. He just didn't. He didn't bring many women there. However, that's what he told me, that's how it goes down. So in a polite way, I said, well, I just met you. I came here. We genuinely seemed like we clicked, but it's not going to go like it did for the other women. First of all, I'm my own individual. I am me. Okay. So there's no way that you can expect anyone to just do what everyone else in your life has done. I mean, you can expect that, but are you going to get that? No, you're not going to get that because people have a right to their own choices. Okay, so I'm basically like, excuse me, I'm Irene. So I don't know who else been up in this garage home. And you know what? Another thing, let me explain something to you. He really screwed himself up because at that point, once he got that cocky attitude and telling me what everybody else do as if I'm going to do it, I looked around and reminded myself that I was in a garage. Okay, because no matter how nice he fixes it up, because he's going to explain this standard that he has. Because keep in mind, the men I had been around during my life, whether they had raised me or whatever, not to downgrade no man that live in the garage, they had garages, but they didn't have to live in their garage because they either owned a home, 4 family flats. two family flats, you know, because I was raised in the Midwest originally. So I'm looking around like the other women must have not have noticed that it was a garage. And he brought that out of me by explaining this is the way he do things and expected me to do it that way. So he did respect my wishes as far as he wasn't the rapist type. So at that point, when I said no, that that's not what's going to happen, he said, well, okay, I got things to do. I got to work tomorrow. And he went and manually started letting his garage up so I can leave. And I was happy about that. I was more than happy to leave his garage home because he was disrespectful. He just was. That just wasn't respectful. He was stereotyping, making assumptions. And, you know, I'm fine. Like, okay, what you need to do is go find one of the other women that did what you wanted them to do in your garage and bring them back. But why ain't they coming back? I mean, obviously, your game ain't wrapped that tight because at this point, if you was doing that good of a job, you should have one of these women living in your garage and be married to them and having a bunch of kids running around this garage. So anyway, I was like, okay, thank you. Now, the sad part of the story is, like I said, this was 15, 20 years ago. I had just went through a breakup and he claimed he had went through a breakup. I think he had a daughter. Okay, he had a daughter by a lady. And at that time, I think she was about 10 or 11. She was just cute as a button. So many, many years later, at least 8 to 10 years later, I was working at a particular job. And him and his family came in. And he was a good looking, handsome guy. And I recognized him. And he recognized me instantly. So he said, Irene? I don't remember his name, to be honest. I'm sorry. If I was to see him and he told me his name, I would remember. And I remembered his name for a very long time, but I don't remember his name. I mean, I didn't sleep with this man. He was at an event that he was working at as security. And I don't have any kids with this man, so I'm sorry. I just don't remember his name. And even if I remembered his name, I still wouldn't say it on this video out of respect for this man, okay? So anyway, going forward, 8 or 10 years later, he, of course, comes into my job. And he's paralyzed and extremely ill. He had lost some weight, but he was a buff, big bone guy. So him losing weight didn't look bad on him. Like I said, when I saw him, he's very nice looking. And when he saw me, he said, I never forgot you. And I'm like, why do you say that? He said, I just want you to know that you were the only one back then that came in that living situation I was in that did not sleep with me. And I always wondered what happened to you. And I told him, I said, you know, I never forgot you either. However, at a minimum, he definitely was narcissistic. Okay. And maybe was a potential narcissist. Who knows? I don't know. Could be a sociopath. You just never know. But he was ill on a cane. He explained to me that his health had took a turn for the worse. He had, I forgot what illness he claimed he had, but it did paralyze him. So he was slumped down on, I think, a cane, or was it a walker? I remember a cane. It's been so long ago. I remember the cane. He was partially paralyzed, okay? As if he had had some sort of stroke, right? So this is a reminder of the garage, y'all. Look at this. We in a garage. And yeah, we're in the garage. So anyway, that's just how that went. So that's one example of a narcissist in a garage. Now, and may that man, I hope that he recovered. I hope that the best came to him. However, the way to get me to get in bed with you ain't telling me what somebody else did and how she did it and what she did it for. I'm my own individual. I'm not following what they did just because they did it. Okay? And he was still single at the time or whatever. He was even giving me the googly eyes, like he was, wishing he could be with me. And he said, when I look back on it, you would have been the type of woman that would have fit my needs. And I'm looking at him like, and I ain't got nothing against nobody that's disabled, right? But I'm thinking, no, we don't fit each other's needs, because for one, he was definitely a user and did not have a high regard for what the other person wants to do. And he definitely, at the end of the day, he was not on the right spiritual journey. So always keep that in mind. It's all about the narcissist's spiritual journey too. Okay. And they just don't care about the number of bodies that they with neither, because keep in mind, when he says every woman has slept with him that came in that garage, he might have had 10 of them that year, averaging one a month in that garage. His family that he stayed with, which was a truly middle-class family at the time, would not have allowed him to make that garage/apartment home he had the hooker spot. They wasn't going to be letting him bring them in like that. But still, he didn't care about the number of bodies he had, and I was going to be added on to one of those bodies. And when I say bodies, I mean the amount of people that you then laid down with and had intercourse with or had any sort of sexual interaction with. Okay, so I was not on his body count. Now, of course, I've been on somebody else's body count. That's why I'm doing these videos, because I still been with other narcissists. So I'm not bragging like as if, oh, I'm not on nobody's body count. Because if I was with one narcissist and that narcissist slept with 50 women, I'm one of those 50. Okay, so I'm in no way. I'm just saying in this particular case, I was not on his body count. And there's been many narcissists that I stayed off of their body counts. And that's because a lot of them are unaware narcissists and they disrespecting you right up front or passively aggressively disrespecting you. Okay, so anyway, let's go on to the narcissist and the garage deal. The second example. The second example would be the violent narcissist could be sociopath. The relative, okay? Uncle, son, daughter, niece, whatever. This is somebody that's already left the home or been put out of the home, that's out on the streets, and you don't want them out there. They're too violent to let in the house. They may have theft issues. They may steal. They may be a klepto. They may be on some type of drugs. So you do a garage deal agreement to help them so they're not on the streets, and out of just pure love for them, you do the garage deal. Okay, so in this case, if they're violent in this example, because of course this is example number 2, it won't go well within the first 1 to 4 to 5 days of the garage deal. They will be acting a fool in your garage. So this is going to be the same sociopath narcissist, okay? And they're just going to be in your garage starting trouble. But in these deals, people do the deal because there's normally a door going into the garage that you can lock off. Legally, you cannot allow a person to live in the garage or utilize the garage and have them locked in. They have to be able to legally exit. Like right here. If I did a garage deal with the narcissist, he can take that lock off right there, and he or she could roll this garage up right there. Okay, and this is paint chipped off, y'all. So it was like this when I moved in. This is the paint chipped off the floor here. They did a good paint job in the garage. I mean, I did have a paint job. This is how great the paint job was on the wall. However, the floor was never painted. So that's what that is. That's not urine or anything like that. That is just the paint chipped off the ground, y'all. Okay. So just so you know, I ain't nasty like that. That's just paint. So underneath that gray paint, that's how the garage concrete looks. So you're looking at concrete there. Okay. Thank you very much. So just want to explain that, because I don't want you to be like, oh my God, Miss Irene at Advanced Insight. Oh, she nasty. She showed a video and it was boo-boo down there. So just, I'm so crazy. So I'm just saying that. So anyway, with this second example, the garage deal and the narcissist, usually these are just sociopaths. I mean, they are diagnosed with sociopathy, which means if they are diagnosed with sociopathy, they are automatically a narcissist. A psychiatrist is not going to diagnose them with both. The narcissism is automatic in the sociopathy. So you got this sociopath and you're doing the garage deal. It's your family. You love them, y'all. Male or female, you love them. You don't want your family or your great friend or an adopted relative out on the streets like that. So with this example number 2, within 4 to 5 days of it, the police will be out. Because remember, you've done a deal with someone that's not grateful. So part of the problem will be, yes, you've done the garage deal, right? However, this sociopath or narcissist is pissed off that you ain't letting they crazy behind up in your main part of your house to cause trauma. You basically got them one step from outside. So when they cause drama, you come in your garage, you make sure you have your key, you make sure that entry door that goes into your house is locked so that sociopath or narcissist can't come back in the house. So you raise that garage up. When they start acting a fool, you let they butt out. However, they can do things like this. If you forget to lock the front door part or other entry, they'll try to sneak in and steal a few items. You may have to run in and catch that. And typically the violence. So within a short amount of time, there will have to be a police call made. And so I'm bringing up these examples to say this. For now on, promise me this. Anyone that tells you, oh, let me mention this first before I say this. I do know an empathic woman. Okay, she was very empathic, and her son, they rented a garage from a friend, fixed it up very beautiful. She was a ex-coworker of mine. We don't communicate anymore. It seemed to be one of those deals. We don't work together, so we ain't friends or whatever. However, I still hold a special place in my heart for her and her son. And she was very empathic. Okay, her mom was very empathic. However, in my opinion, and even somewhat in her opinion, her father was narcissistic. Okay, so I want to point that situation out because she was homeless. She had a ex-husband that she was separated from, and they had this beautiful son. Okay, so not all people will be a narcissist. However, I want to promise you this. I want you to promise me this. When you meet someone and they tell you that they are renting or living in a garage, and they are not the homeowner, they're not saying, hey, I own this home, That's where I like to hang out so I can keep the rest of my house clean. I want your mind to think like this. Because you've seen this video, I want your mind to say, is this a potential narcissist? Or is this an empath? Or is this a normal? Or is this someone that's narcissistic? A normal, they're just normal. They're very low on empathy and very low on narcissism. Someone that's narcissistic, they have a very small window of empathy, not much. And then, of course, you got the narcissist, where they can be diagnosed with NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. And of course, you have the empathic person, which is going to try to do their best to be the great person they are if they're in their right state of mind, spiritually and emotionally. And also, if this empathic person has not been corrupted by too many past narcissists in their lives. And the reason I say that is, don't assume just because someone is empathic that they're going to work in your best interest, because they could be a very corrupt empath, okay, that needs therapy, that needs spiritual guidance. So just because they're empathic doesn't mean they're in the right place in their life where they can serve their own needs and yours. However, I want you to promise me this. When you meet people and you find out that they're living in the garage, okay, I don't care how beautiful it is, find out more information as to what led them there. Some people are staying in their family's garage because they're waiting on their new home to be built. And Uncle Henry and Auntie Betty said that they could stay because in 5 more months, their new house on the hills is going to be built. Okay, that's different. But see if you could find out more about their background. Okay, along with, in some cases, sometimes having a higher standard can save you too. You know, you may say, hey, I own $1 million home. I don't date men and women that live in garages. Okay, so if that's what you want to make your new standard, that's on you too. But I promise you this, it can be a red flag. Okay, so going forward, if someone, male or female, that you're interested in, because it ain't just men that's crazy. It could be a female lunatic too. Okay? Because remember, they're not just narcissists, they're lunatics. Because when you say, okay, you've already been violent in the home, this is a garage deal, and next thing you know, within 4 days, they like this. Let me in, bitch. Open the door, nigga. You know, they calling you all these names and shit, and you like, what the fuck, man? And next thing you know, you rolling up the garage ready to box. So, and excuse the profanity, but I'm just giving you literal examples of how this mess goes. Okay, because they gonna be, I'm on the inside banging. Let me in, motherfucker, let me in. But they on the outside, y'all. You see what I'm saying? So, and then cut the garage deal. Okay, it's no more garage deal. Okay, and in general, what I'm basically telling you, because I don't want this video to be too much longer. If you try it and you've experienced this and you know some other garage deal situations, whether it be from you or other people, put a comment. Please like, share, and subscribe. But at the end of the day, this video is to bring awareness as to how to look at these situations when you meet new people or even people that you've already known. Think twice about doing a garage deal, especially if you already know they're a narcissist and a sociopath. Garage deals will work if it's an empathic person and they're in the right state of mind and they're not lazy and they're going to bring support to not only themselves but you. But Garage deals do not work with sociopaths and narcissists that have not received therapy, that are violent individuals, that have zero to no empathy, and they don't give a fuck about you. Okay? And they will tell you that they're going to tear your garage up. They're going to kick your garage in. See this furniture here? They're going to throw this down on the ground as they leave in your garage and knock that over. Okay? And that's just how it's going to go. It's a bad deal. So the garage deal with the narcissist does not work in your best interest. Avoid it. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I love y'all so much. I apologize for the profanity, but that's how I gave it to you. Again, like, share, and subscribe. Please. Thank you.